then obviously, and there was the movie, but it seemed to me there were still more stories to be told there. Did you go away from that feeling like that story hadn't been finished in the way you wanted it to be?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Hey, I don't know if there's children here. I can't see. Every day, and I've said this before, but the stories that I wanted to tell with those characters, I just live inside me. There's an episode I had that I pitched to Nathan that is so dark and so awful and so beautiful, and we were so excited that we were going to get to make that. And there's just a scene that I have written completely in my head, that every time I'll go over a scene as though I'm writing it or as though it's happening, I'll just start to cry because I'm like, oh, this will just make people cry. Like I can think of one right off the bat, because it moves me so much, and nobody will ever see it. It'll never happen. I learned about grief from Firefly. I mean, I've lost people. I've lost them suddenly. I've lost them early. But I didn't really understand what grief was until I lost Firefly. And what I realized about it was that you never get over it. You learn to live with it. It's like losing a limb. You don't grow it back. People say, get over it. It's like, no, you adjust. You learn to tie your shoes with one hand. I will never get over what happened with Firefly. It is like a child to me.
I'm glad I brought it up. Is there a passion in working on something that is your own, like something that you've created yourself, that is different to when you come in and work on something like, for example, that's based on somebody else's material that you're making into a movie or making into? Are they two different things? Are they two different skills?
I think they are different skills, but ultimately the experience isn't different. You get into the world, and it's bigger than life. And if it's bigger than life because, like writing the X-Men, being able to write Kitty Pryde was the moment I realized, the moment I got that email from Joe Quesada saying, just so I can be clear, you want these people on your team. And there was the list, and Kitty was on it, and I lost it. That's when I actually first coined the term nerdgasm, which got overused in Melbourne, so I was a little shy about it. But it was so important to me, and there was so much resonance in it. It's a little harder when you're creating it yourself, but at the same time, you're not beholden to what the stipulations of what they're doing. But at the end of the day, all you're doing is taking these people, whether you've invented them or whether you're reinventing them, and putting them together and finding out what makes them tick and how they work together and how they don't, and finding those big, great hero moments that are worthy of turning the page or an act out or whatever it is. Just finding those, it's heaven, it's candy, it's sex, it's everything. And it doesn't matter if it's somebody else's. I had a great time rewriting Waterworld. Okay? I thought of some really cool stuff. They didn't use it, of course.